Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Project Ozone 3 Kappa mode. So we are here on the moon. Very lonely here. You can see our Minecraft world up above us. So we ended up last episode needing the tier 2 rocket. We did the first dungeon. We got the moon buggy. I went off camera and did a second dungeon. And we were able to get the tier 2 rocket schematic, which is good, which will allow us to build a tier 2 rocket. So in order for us to do that, we're going to need meteoric iron. Let's search for a tier 2 rocket. We can see right here, let's actually bookmark this so we have it, and we'll get rid of that one. So the tier 2 rocket requires heavy duty plate tier 2, which is the heavy duty plate tier 1, which we can auto craft with compressed meteoric iron. So compressed meteoric iron is a meteoric iron ingot put through the compressor, and in order to get this, you have to have meteoric iron essence or raw meteoric iron. So raw meteoric iron you can obtain from these guys right here, these meteors. So every once in a while these will fall, and when they first land they are bright red, or I guess just red in color. As they cool they turn into like this orange, and eventually it'll turn gray. When they're this color, they do hurt you, I do believe. Yes, they do hurt you. So you don't want to touch them, but I think you can mine them just fine. So we were able to collect 2 raw meteoric iron. And I'm not entirely sure if we smelt that with our furnace that we have back at the base, if we get 4 from this or maybe more. I don't really know how much you get, but pretty much our goal right now is just to kind of fly around and hope that we can find enough meteors so we can make the seeds. Yeah, going back to this, the uses on this turns into the meteoric ingot, and the recipe for that comes from the meteoric iron, which comes from the seeds, which we need 36 meteoric iron. So I have a lot of searching around to do, trying to find these meteors. I don't really know how often they fall, but I was able to find one with just a quick little, I guess I want to go to like places that I've already been, right? Yeah, so just a quick little search around, I was able to find one. I don't know how often they fall, but I do know they fall within loaded chunks. You can't just go off and explore randomly and find them. Like, you have to kind of AFK in a certain area or just be in that area with that loaded for the meteors to appear. Now, I don't know if I could just chunk load the area and then come back later if that works. I honestly don't know how any of that works, if the player has to be here or whatever. But anyway, I'm just going to continue searching around like we're doing here. This was our first dungeon, I do believe. Yeah, I'm just going to keep searching around here, see if I can find any more meteors. And yeah, we just need to collect 36 of the meteoric iron to make the seeds. Sometimes these things are harder to spot than others. Like this one, for instance, right here, I could barely just differentiate the color, and there's like no explosion around it. Normally these things leave a crater, but this one, yeah, it just didn't. So I barely saw it. So we're up to 23. If we double the raw meteoric iron into the meteoric iron bars, we should have 46, which should be enough. I don't know if we double it, so we're going to go ahead and find out. I have been at this for, I don't know, about a half an hour, I would say. I haven't actually been timing it, but it feels like it's been about 30 minutes, I would say. So it's not so bad. And really what I've been doing is just sitting up here, like high in the sky, just kind of panning my camera around, looking for explosions. Like there's one right there. So you can find them just by kind of AFKing, I guess, or you can do another method, looking at your mini map here and look for color changes in the terrain. So like that shows up here. That right there is a little, it's got my attention a little bit. You can see on the bottom center though that it says what the material is. That says that's granite. If I hover over this one, it says it's moon turf, and I see moon turf or moon dirt a lot. Whoa, warning, oxygen setup is invalid. Oh, I ran out of O2. Oxygen. Yeah, I have been here a while, apparently. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so now we have O2 again. So however long it takes for our heavy oxygen tanks to run out, is how long I've been here. Okay, so we have 24? Yeah, so that'd be 48 of those if we double. Again, I don't know if we do. Let's go find out so I'm not wasting extra time here. So we will put, let's just put one in here. And meteor, okay, we do not double. Ah, that's unfortunate. Okay, so we have a total of 24 of those. I need to keep going until we have 36 more. Well, a total of 36, I guess, so 12 more. All right, well, I'm gonna keep doing that. We'll be back, guys. All right, so just a little while longer. We got 12 more of the Meteoric Iron. I went ahead and made the tier 4 seeds for the Meteoric Iron seeds. Yep. And we are currently in the process of just 10-10-10ing these guys like we do. This goes like really fast thanks to the Astro Sorcery Tick Acceleration. Whoops, I took that one off a little too soon. Okay, we'll plant that one there. And cross crop stick. So in like 1 or 2 more, well, 2 to 3 more, I guess, mutations here, we should have perfect 10-10-10 seeds. Sometimes it happens instantly where the seeds mutate and we get the next generation. Sometimes it takes like a minute. I don't know what really causes the difference. Sometimes I get impatient. It's like, all right, we're just going to break down and put down new ones. And sometimes that speeds it up, but I don't really know if that has any impact on it at all. But anyway, we're at a 9, 10, 8 on these. Yeah, we're coming along very quickly here. I know some people like doing this automated where you just put a bunch of cross crop sticks in a line and just let it go. And that's fine, but that takes a long time. Like, ain't nobody got time to wait like an hour for your seeds to get to 10-10-10. But yeah, with this method here, it only takes like 5 minutes or less, it seems like. All right, so we're at a 9-10-10 here, very close to being done. So just one more generation, and we will have perfect seeds. This is probably my favorite part. This isn't the best way to automate crops, but to get us going right now for what we need, this is working pretty well. So we have quite a bit of this Meteoric Iron essence. We'll just go ahead and throw that into the system here. So we have nearly 3,000 of it. Now this turns from a ratio of 8 of these into 3 Meteoric Iron. I was just kind of looking at that. If we look at the uses here, yeah, so 8 turns into 3. So, I mean, we have a decent amount in the system, but it won't be like a huge amount. But this should be able to get us by for what we need to do. All right, let's go ahead and turn these off. And when we need to go farm more, we can do that. So next step is we need to make a recipe in the system so it knows how to convert the essence. Meteoric. Get rid of that. So we can just do one of these, and at the very bottom of our molecular assemblers, I've been placing these kinds of things where we're just converting essence into usable materials. Okay, so now that we have that, we should be able to start the recipe. So we want to make tier 2, was it heavy duty plates tier 2? Heavy duty plate tier 2, yes. So we want to be able to make this. So we need a recipe that's going to take the tier 1 plus a compressed meteoric iron. And then we also need to tell the system how to make the compressed meteoric iron, which we have not done. And that is done with 1 meteoric iron in the laser cutter. Okay, so we can do that. So if we go in here, compressed, let's find this guy. So that goes there. And then the heavy duty plate, we can do this one. Okay, so now the system knows how to craft all of that. Going back to our tier 2 rocket, whoops, let me clear that, get off here, get rid of that seed. So our tier 2 rocket just requires a nose cone and the rocket fins, same thing as we did before. That's just the heavy duty plates and the compressed steel. So we already know how to do that. Tier 1 rocket engine, and then the nose cone, like I said. Tier 1 booster, so I think this is new. I don't think we had to make those before. And then we are also going to need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 heavy duty plate tier 2s. Well, that's easy enough to do. Let's start working on this tier 1 booster. I think we need to go just regular crafting patterns for that. Okay, so we know how to do this. Compressed meteoric iron, we have that. We have these, we have the oxygen vent. So yellow wool is something new that we have not had to make before. So I guess we'll just do this recipe here. And fill the fuel canister. This is something that I generally don't automate. Like, we have plenty of fuel and we could just make these fuel canisters. Do we have... We don't have a recipe for fuel canisters. Let's go ahead and make a recipe for those. I think everything in here we already know how to do. Okay. And then I'll just craft up, I don't know, like 16 of those, fill them all up, put them in the system, and then we'll just use them. And when we run out, we can just do that again. It's not really something that needs to be automated. Okay, so let's go back down to where our galacticraft section is. Where did we put all of our galacticraft stuff? Right here. So there's that, this one, and that guy. Okay. So now we want fuel, I guess it's called empty. Let's do 16 of these, just so we have plenty. Ooh, we're running low on 10. 10 ore piece. This is probably something that we could automate too, so the system knows how to craft this. You know what, let's do that. Let's do that. So, 10 ore piece, clear this out. Whoop, that's the wrong button. This button, clear that out. So now we know how to make those. And then we need a recipe. Whoops, what am I doing? This. We need a recipe for that to turn into 2 tin ingots. Okay, so now we should know how to craft all of this stuff. And I guess I'll throw this recipe down towards the bottom. Eventually, we'll just automate it. So we're never going to get these tin ore chunks in the system. We'll just be auto crafting that stuff and getting the ingots. That's something we should do fairly soon, I think. But anyway, for now, let's just go ahead and get this in here so we can just auto craft that. Okay, so we wanted to make ourselves the empty fuel or empty canisters, whatever they're called. Yeah, empty canister. 16 of those. Start that up. Okay, so everything's happening. Everybody's happy here. And done. Awesome. So these do not stack, so these are going to be fun to fill up. But we have plenty of fuel over here, as we saw before. So this is, yeah, this one's the fuel. Okay, so I guess I'm going to clear off my hotbar and put these things into place here. And just fill each one of these up with fuel, and then we can throw those in the applied energistic system, like I said, and then we can have that for later for all of our future auto crafting needs, and we won't have to worry about that. Just one more of those, like so. Okay, so wireless crafting terminal, all those go into the system. Put this stuff back on the bar, and we are ready to go. Okay, so now we should be able to do the tier 1 rocket booster, or tier 1 booster, I guess is what it's called. Everything's happy, except we don't know dandelion yellow. All right. Dandelion yellow, we do have the essence in the system, so it should know how to craft that once we do one of these. And is it rose red? Yeah. Keep all those together. Okay, so now we should be able to do this. All right, we'll start that all up. Everything looks happy. Everything's crafting. Compressed bronze, heavy duty plates are being made. This is going to be the slowest point, the bottleneck there, just because we're waiting on the speed of the compressor. But it looks like it did that quite decently fast. Okay, so now that we have that done, we need another tier 1 rocket engine. We needed 4 fins. Let's grab those. And then we needed 10 heavy duty plate tier 2s. We'll queue that up. And then we needed a nose cone as well. So that should pretty much be everything. Everything that we are going to need in order to build the next tier rocket. And that will be able to get us to Mars, I do believe. I think we looked at that last time, right? That should be able to get us to Mars anyway. So we are currently waiting on the rocket fins, and we are waiting on the heavy duty plate tier 2s. So let's go ahead and wait for this to finish up, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. So our rocket, all the parts are done, and I feel like in order to expedite this process along for next time, I just queued up 100 heavy duty plates to be crafted. So those are just going to be done in the background. So hopefully we'll have those ready to go for next time. We already got 10 of these heavy duty plates. Yeah, so that should speed things along. Anyway, we have everything here for our next rocket. Let's go ahead and come over to our NASA workbench. So in order to do anything here, we have to go to the add new schematic page, and we want to put in, I guess we can put in the moon buggy too, but I don't think we're ever going to make it. and the tier 2 rockets will unlock that. So going back to here, we have our tier 1 moon buggy, tier 2, and then we can add new schematics, which we're going to have to find eventually. So let's go ahead and click these things all in, and there it is. There's a tier 2 rocket. Now before, oops, okay, I guess you can't click off there. It puts it all in your inventory. I thought it would retain it. I was going to say, before we do that, was there anything else here? No, it doesn't need to know about any more rockets. It just cares about the different schematics, right? Okay, so that's all we need to do. And isothermal padding, this requires us to have dash, so that's not until we get to Mars that we're gonna have to worry about that. So we should be good to go here. So let's just go ahead and put everything back in. Oh, I'm on the wrong rocket. I'm on the wrong page. There it is. I was like, why is that stuff not going in there? Okay, so there's the tier 2 rocket. Awesome. So now that we have that, we can put our tier 2 rocket. Let's take a look at that. Actually, let's look at the difference between the two of them. So the tier 2 rocket is slightly bigger, and you can see it's got the extra boosters on there, although I think it's got 4 of them, even though it only costs 2 in the recipe. Anyway, so that's the difference, just ever so slightly bigger. We'll place that guy here, and yeah, you can see it's fueling up. Our translocators are putting more fuel into this thing, and I believe you can right-click on here and then press G to watch the progress. So we're at 35% and climbing. So once this thing is full, we should be, I believe, ready to launch to Mars. Let's hit shift and get off this thing. Keeps you in F5 mode when you get out of the rocket. It's a little weird. So our oxygen tanks are refilled. How are we doing with the current ones? All right, let's get rid of this, and we will get that over here to be refilled as well. Okay, and then we got plenty of heavy-duty oxygen that's full in the system, so I am not worried about running out of O2 right now. All right, cool. So I think we should be about ready to head to Mars, and that is our next step. Let's go ahead and have a carrot so we have proper saturation. And I believe when you go to Mars, mobs do spawn on the surface. I think it has a day-night cycle. I think the moon might too, but it's always been daylight there. I've only ever seen monsters in caves. So G, looks like we are ready to go. We have our armor, our padding, everything else. I think we're ready to go. Let's launch. All right, so now that we are up above the clouds and in orbit, I suppose is what this is supposed to represent, we need to choose our destination. So let's do Mars, and we're just gonna land on Mars proper. We're not gonna go to its moons or anything. So Mars is selected, and let's click launch. Prepare for entry. Goal reached to Mars. Oh, great. You can see my armor is kind of poking out of this thing. Oh boy, there's monsters here already. Okay. Well, as soon as we start or stop bouncing, that zombie knows about me already. Let's go ahead and get out of there. Now, I do believe that I want the stuff that's in this. If I right click on here, yeah, you can get my rocket, I can get my launch pad, and then if we wanted to recover some fuel, we can, but I'll just go ahead and get rid of that. Oh, you know what I did forget? I forgot to make myself a new warpy thing, right? Ah, do I have one in here? I don't. Okay, well that's a problem, I think. What are those translocators? No, they are dislocators. Can I make one from here? Ooh, we got almost everything. We just need a vendor. Perfect. All right, we are good to go. Now, I don't have a way back home, but I can do /home to get home. So that works for me. All right, so let's just go ahead and put a warp, I guess, right here. Okay, so now we can warp back to Mars whenever. Oop, that skeleton's trying to get at me. Yeah, we can warp back here whenever we want to. So the next thing is, I guess I should also put a waypoint here. New. We'll call that exit. Eventually we'll have a warpy thing to get back to the base. Yeah, the next thing is we need to go around and look for dungeons. So we can look at the map and see if we see anything in particular. That's got my attention right here, but I don't think that's a dungeon. I think the dungeons look more like this, but that doesn't really look like a hole in the ground either. Let's head over this general direction and see what that thing is that I was just looking at. Could be nothing. And Is that what I was looking at? Oh, I passed it, whatever it was. What was I looking at? Maybe that hole in the ground right here? Yeah, that's got to be it. Yeah, okay, so that was nothing. All right, well, I need to go around and try and find a dungeon. Hopefully we'll be able to find something relatively easy. I do believe in this mod pack, actually, before we continue any further, I do believe if we go to the reward section, you can find a creative dungeon locator. And I think this will help guide you to the dungeons that we're looking for. Maybe it'd be worth getting this thing. Oh yeah, that is galacticraft, isn't it? Dungeon locator. Okay, is it worth 200k? Or 200, not 200k, 200 RAK? You know what? Let's go ahead and do this and make our lives easier. We'll purchase this guy. So detect, claim. So this is pointing this direction. Go and put some of these things away. I don't need my rocket, the launch pad. Dislocator is fine. Let's put that, I don't know, I guess my torch slot. We won't be able to do that. All right, so that says the dungeon is this particular way. What's that blue thing down there? Are those eggs? I think those are eggs. Yeah, there's a green one right here. That must be the dungeon right there. I don't remember if these are useful. Blue slimeling egg, currently harvestable. Unnamed. Oh. Does the Enderman not like it? Oh, rip! Rip unnamed! Okay, the Enderman doesn't like those things. I don't think I've ever messed with those before. I've looked at them and be like, huh, that's weird. Anyway, so we have a dungeon here. How's our O2? Our O2 is just fine. Put the bow in the offhand like we do, and go through this dungeon. How much longer we have on our stuff here? It looks like we have 3 minutes on night vision and all of that. Desh stick, fragmented carbon, partially filled oil canister. You know what? I guess we can just grab all this stuff. There's not a lot of reason not to. And again, we'll just break these spawners. The ones that I'm really concerned about is creeper spawners, because you can get creeper spawners in here, and then if they spawn like the John Cena creepers, you're gonna have a bad time. Okay, so it looks... Why can I not break this thing? Did I not just get done breaking a cobweb with my sword a minute ago? I guess this sword really isn't a sword. Can I break this? I can do that, and I can break that, and then get rid of zombie. Okay. Yeah, this isn't really a sword. It's a custom item that looks like a sword, but it's not like technically a sword, I don't think. Auto smelt and maul. All right, so I need to clear out my inventory. Looks like we are right at the boss. Let's get rid of this stuff though. Oxygen vent, that's nice. That's another thing we won't have to craft up in the future. All right, let's chew another one of these just so we have our regeneration going for longer. Maul, auto smelt. Okay. So we have an Enderman in here that we have to deal with, but ooh, we have creepers too. Let's go ahead and get rid of the creepers. Those are something we definitely don't want to deal with. The Enderman, I don't really think there's much we can do. And then this is going to be the creeper game where we have to knock that back at them. I have the extended reach on this sword, so if I do it too quickly, it like goes right through them. Yeah, it's pretty easy, especially with this particular sword that we're using. All right, and done. Okay, so hopefully we have the tier 3 rocket in here. That sound gets me every time. It's so ridiculous. All right, collect all of our loot. Did we get the key? We do. Yeah, and I think these creeper eggs, I think these spawn little baby creepers if the fight goes on long enough, I think. Anyway, so tier 2 dungeon key, and we got ourselves an automatic cargo rocket. Once again, we have to do this fight over. It's not super difficult, as you guys can see, but it is one of those things that's kind of like, come on, I don't want to do it again. Well, anyway, I'm going to go find a new dungeon, do that same fight over again. It's not difficult, as you guys have seen, and we have the dungeon locator to find the next dungeon, so be right back, guys. All right, so there's boss number 2 down. Awesome. Okay, so we got ourselves a key. That sounds like a silverfish. Why is there a silverfish? I wonder if it's like these eggs or something. I don't know. Anyway, definitely sounds like a silverfish. So we got ourselves a Desh helmet, which kind of looks cool, I guess. Making sure nothing's falling. Are they invisible? Or maybe they're down below. I don't know. But anyway, that's what the Desh helmet looks like. It has 4 armor and 3 toughness versus our 2 armor and 1 toughness. So it's actually better armor than what we are currently using. So it might be worth upgrading to the entire Desh armor set. Desh, is this craftable? It is with Desh ingots. Okay, so that's 9 and 3. Actually, let's do it this way. Yeah, so the chestplate is 9 and 3. Ours is 8 and 4. Okay, so our toughness is actually better on this, but this has better armor. 7 and 3 for the leggings. Okay, and then 4 and 3. Well, I guess the helmet is actually the best piece here. So we go from a 2 and 1 to a 4 and 3. So it might be worth swapping over to that. I think we'll probably do that here. Whoop, I need this key. Okay, so we ended up getting a NASA Workbench Schematic Tier 3 rocket. Nice. Miner's Fever, fire protection. Very good. All right, well, we got everything that we're looking for. So now we should be able to head back on out of here and get back to the base. All right, so the time has come. Let's go ahead and get rid of this Rhino Plate helmet. So I believe if you put that on the with the lens of disenchanting and a book, you can take enchantments off, if I remember right. Okay, so we ended up with a book with mending on it, so that's awesome. So that and that. We got a book with Unbreaking 3, and of course that and that again. We get our protection 4. So our Rhino Plate helmet is completely intact, but no longer is enchanted, so we'll get rid of that. And now we get to go over and put the enchantments on. Oh, you know what? I thought we had an anvil here. We don't. Anvil. All right, so we'll grab this one. So Desh helmet, we will put, how are we doing the order of these? It doesn't really matter, but I like keeping them in the same order. So mending, unbreaking, protection. Mending, unbreaking, and protection. Cool. So that is our new get up here. We don't have the crazy horns anymore, and we have better protection than what we had before. So it actually kind of looks like it matches with the rest of the armor too, doesn't it? A little bit. Anyway, so now that we have that, we can go unlock these other recipes in our NASA workbench. So we have the automatic cargo rocket. Gonna go all the way to the end. Cargo rocket, and then we have the tier 3 rocket, so we can unlock all of that. So the tier 3 rocket, yeah, that's a lot of storage space. We don't really need any of that. I guess it's this one right here. So that's our new one. So that requires the same boosters. It does require heavy duty plate tier 3, heavy rocket engine, heavy rocket fins, the same nose cone, I think. No, that's a different one. It looks the same. That's a heavy duty plate tier 3. And these require compressed dash. So dash, again, that could be done on a laser cutter that we made. And we have to get the dash ingots from Mars, but it looks like there are seeds for that. And 8 turns into 2. That's even worse than previous. And that's a tier 5 seed. Ooh. So that means we need to have 8 blocks of dash in order to make this. Okay, well, we got some fun and adventure coming up here pretty soon on Mars. Yep, we are definitely going to have to go there, mine a whole bunch of dash, get those blocks made, make the seeds, tier 10 them, and then we should be able to make our tier 3 rocket, which takes us to Venus, maybe? Or is it the one that goes to Mercury? I honestly don't remember where those all go. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.